So today we are talking about secants, tangents, and angle measures. We are going to put together a lot of what we have talked about. Okay, this is one of the last things from this chapter, and we've got a lot to get through, so we'll just do some problems, practice problems, and then I will send you on your way with homework. So let's get this started. First would be just talking about what a secant is. A secant is a line that intersects a circle in exactly 2 points. So, as we can see here, we have line M. It intersects the circle here and here, so 2 points, making it a secant. Okay, remember we have also talked about tangents and chords, and then angle measures and measures of arcs. All of that is going to come together today. So, we have some very important formulas to talk about, all right? This is the main thing from today. You need to have these filled out. So we have some different examples. We're talking about problems that have 2 lines, okay? So if there are 2 lines that intersect this circle somewhere, you're going to have to use one of these formulas. The top one, we have 2 circles, and they intersect on the circle. Okay, so they intersect in a point right here, which is on the circle. The formula that we use for when that happens is the angle equals 1/2 times the arc. Okay, so like for example, my angle would be right here. That's the angle. My arc is this part out here. So my angle, the red part, would be equal to 1/2 times the blue part, the arc. Next, another formula, this time for when they intersect inside the circle. All right, so they intersect inside of your circle. Your formula, the angle equals 1/2 times the arc, so this arc right here, plus the other arc. Okay? So, your angle equals this arc plus this arc. The 2 arcs formed by the intersecting lines. And lastly, if it is on the outside, so we can see we have 2 lines, they intersect, but they intersect way out here. It's not even in our circle, or it's not on the circle, it is outside the circle. Our formula, our angle equals, again, it's 1/2 times, then you will do the big arc minus the small arc. So, big arc minus small arc. Okay, so that would be like this red part right here minus the smaller arc right there. So the red part minus the blue part. If you are just watching this video for your homework, you will need those 3 formulas, so you need to write them down. Also, if you still have the yellow formulas sheet, I believe these are already on there. If they're not, I would add them to it. So, now let's try some problems. With every single problem you do that has 2 lines intersecting a circle, we should write if it is on, inside, or outside, so we know what formula to use. So, for the first one, I find where they intersect. It's right here. That is on the circle. So I know I want to find this angle X. I need to take this formula, because my angle equals 1/2 times the arc. Also, on this one, this is supposed to be 280. Okay, this is 280. So they tell me that this part right here is 280, but I want the other part. I need to figure out this part of the circle. So I need to take 360 minus 280. Okay, 360 minus 280. We get 80. So this part right here is 80. That's my arc. So my angle would equal 1/2 times 80, or 80 divided by 2. 80 divided by 2 is 40. So x equals 40 degrees. Next, again, look for where they intersect. This one, it is inside the circle. It's right there. So inside. So my formula, angle equals 1/2 times arc plus arc. So I want to solve for the angle x. I need to plug in 1/2 times the arc, 38, and 84. So we do 38 plus 84. We add those two together, we get 122. Again, you can either multiply that by 1/2 or divide it by 2. Those mean the same thing. So 122 divided by 2, we get x equals, 61. 61, not sure why I wrote 11, okay? Divided by 2, we get 61. All right, next one, the one on the left, we'll do that one first. Our lines intersect outside of the circle. Okay, they intersect right here. That is outside. So I think of my formula. Angle equals 1/2 big arc minus small arc. Okay, so my angle x, which is right here, is going to be equal to my big arc, 112, minus my small arc, which is 22, divided by 2. So we need to take 112 minus 22 divided by 2. So 112 minus 22, we get 90. 90 divided by 2, we get 45. So x equals 45. All right, now we'll do some more examples. These ones are going to get a little bit trickier. There's kind of some different tips and tricks for them, okay? So keep following along. This next one, again, where do they intersect? This is on the circle. Okay? We are on the circle. Now we want to solve for x, which is out here. This time we want to solve for the arc. So on the circle, my angle equals 1/2 times the arc. I need to solve for this angle right here, because they don't give it to me. That angle, I actually have to do, to solve it, I know that this angle is actually the 87. It goes all the way to this line. And this angle goes all the way to that line. So remember, a straight line is going to add up to 180 degrees. So we need to take 180 minus 33 and minus 87 to get our middle angle. So I subtract those two, and I get 60. So my angle is 60 degrees. I'm going to plug that in. 60 equals 1/2 times the arc. The arc is what I'm solving for. So I'm going to do the reciprocal of 1/2. I multiply both sides by 2. Times by 2, that goes away. 60 times 2, I get 120 equals the arc. So x is 120 degrees. Moving on to the next problem. Again, we are always looking for where our lines intersect our circle. This one, it would be on the line, right there at point B. Okay, so they intersect the circle on the line. Remember, our formula for on is angle equals 1/2 the arc. So, what we see here, my angle is this whole thing, it's 3x. My arc in red is 4x plus 50. So, to solve for x, I'm going to plug those two things in. So for my angle, I'm going to put in 3x equals 1/2 times my arc, I'm going to put in 4x plus 50. Okay, so how I'm going to do that is I'm actually going to write this as 3x equals 4x plus 50, and divide it by 2. I need to get rid of the 2, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. We end up with 6x equals 4x plus 50. We're going to subtract 4x both sides. We end up with 2x equals 50. Divide by 2. And we see that x equals 25. All right? So again, these ones are a little bit different, maybe a little bit more complicated, but still very doable. Just use those formulas, plug in what you know. All right, I think we have like 2 more. Okay, so this one, again, where do they intersect? This time it is inside the circle. Okay, so it is inside. I know that my formula for that is angle equals 1/2 times the arc plus the arc. Okay, so I gotta fill that in. This time they actually give me the angle. My angle would be 84 equals, and then my arc down here is 144. That one is just x. That's okay. I'm still just going to plug x in. Okay? So my arc, 144, plus my other arc, x, and I'm going to divide it by 2 instead of timesing by 1/2. Okay? Then I am just solving for x. First thing I need to do, multiply both sides by 2. I just want to get rid of that. 84 times 2, I get 168 equals 144 plus x. Here I'm just going to subtract 144 from both sides. We get x equals 24. All right, and we would be done with that one. So let's keep moving. Yep, this is the last one. So again, where do they intersect? Outside the circle, right here. Outside, I know my formula is angle equals 1/2 big arc minus small arc. Okay, I didn't want to write those out, so I just capitalized the B and the S. Okay, so big arc minus small arc. Then I'm just going to plug in. So they actually give me my angle this time, which is 52, equals, and then my big arc would be this out here, which they tell me is x. So my big arc is x minus my small arc. Now my small arc is going to be over here, but they don't tell me what that is. Now, the way that I would have to figure that out is I would have to take 360, because my circle is 360 degrees, minus x. So my small arc, I'm going to make another parenthesis to do 360 minus x. And remember, 2 divided by 2. Okay, so I need to solve this now. I'm going to rewrite it to start. So we have 52 equals, all right, I have x. I need to distribute this negative sign to both. So it's going to be minus 360 and plus x divided by 2. Okay? Now, again, I'm still going to multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of that. So we get 104 equals x minus 360 plus x. Now, hopefully we have noticed that we have a positive x and a positive x. So we get 104 equals 2x minus 360. Now I'm going to add 360 to both sides. Okay, when we add those up, 360 plus 104, we get 464 equals 2x. Then we are going to divide both sides by 2. X equals 232. And that is the end. Your homework, I think it's just maybe 10 problems, maybe less, and then you will be good to go.